Hi everyone, I am Jason Casada here at Interop Las Vegas, and joining me is Bob Muglia, the Executive Vice President of Software Solutions Divisions for Juniper Networks, and he just finished his keynote talking about decoding SDN, which resonated well with the audience, so thank you so much for that. So why do you think it's such a hot topic at Interop, this conference this year?
Well, I think SDN is really important to customers because they're looking to build private cloud infrastructures to meet their business needs, and the network isn't keeping up. And the network doesn't enable, is not really, you can't really virtualize the network the way you can compute and storage. And it's an issue for companies that want to build private clouds. And so SDN is viewed as and is a solution to that, which is why there's so much interest.
That's great. And so how can IT organizations really take full advantage of SDN?
The SDN is really a progression. I mean, the networks are going to evolve to really provide the full benefits of SDN, but there are things that companies can do today to begin to get the benefits of SDN. But one of the first things is really to centralize the management they have in their organization, in their network. Today, a lot of networks are managed on a device-by-device basis using CLI commands. This doesn't work well, doesn't scale very well, it's error-prone, and it particularly doesn't work well in a private cloud infrastructure. So having a centralized management system for the physical networks is really a great first step that organizations can do. You know, the next thing that's really interesting is looking at the services that are going to be necessary in a SDN and private cloud environment. If you look, you're going to move from having all of the network services being supplied physically, like physical stateful firewalls, to virtualized firewalls, as an example, virtualized ADCs. Those sorts of things need to be connected together as a part of SDN, and moving them to virtual is a great step towards that. And then the third step, which is what we really spent our time talking about today in my keynote, was the centralized controller that really ties all of these things together. It connects them with overlays. It essentially stitches a service chain together that is foundational for SDN networks within private clouds. And that's what we announced this week, was that we're now in beta on Juniper's controller, which is the Junis V Contrail controller.
Right, so there's definitely a lot to think about when considering SDN for sure.
There's a lot to think about and a lot of real things customers can do right now.
Great. So any last takeaway advice you want to provide to our Interop community?
Well, I think the big thing is that SDN is a shift for companies, but it's really about the transition to the private cloud, and it's an essential element to moving to an effective private cloud infrastructure. So I think every company needs to understand that as they transition their virtualized infrastructure into a private cloud infrastructure, how will they virtualize the network and how will they use SDN to do that? You know, at Juniper, we're really trying to make it simple for customers by having this sort of multi-step process. The first step being centralizing management, extracting the services is the second step. Third step is centralizing the controller. And then the fourth step, which we didn't spend a lot of time on today, is optimizing the hardware.
Great. Bob, thank you so much for your time.
Thanks a lot, Jason. Nice to meet you.
Appreciate it.
Thanks.
For Interop Las Vegas, I'm Jason Casada.